the hepatitis B vaccine, as we noted earlier, there are only 2 routine ones licensed in the United States, Recombavax HB and Engerix B. For Recombavax HB, the first one licensed in 1986. Here is the summary of the clinical trials required by federal regulations in the package insert. I'll just read it. It says, in 3 clinical studies, 434 doses of Recombavax HB 5 micrograms were administered to 147 healthy infants and children up to 10 years of age, were monitored for 5 days after each dose. 147 healthy infants and children is not sufficiently powered to detect anything other than the most incredibly common reaction. And of course, there's a big age spread. It's not even like it was only infants. It was infants and children. And it only monitors safety for 5 days after injection in any event. Engerix B was licensed based on 4 days of safety review. And, unlike many of the other vaccines that we looked at earlier, where there was often only days or weeks, maybe 2 months, between licensure and the ACIP's recommendation, when it came to hepatitis B vaccine and the routine recommendation, there was a 5-year gap, as we saw, between the licensure of Recombavax HB and the routine recommendation for that product by this committee, and there was a 2-year gap for Engerix B. So we actually had an opportunity. There was time for more data to be aggregated between the licensure and the routine recommendation by this committee vis-a-vis safety. And I have on the screen here is the top part of the actual ACIP report in which it made its routine recommendation, and it lists in there everything it relied upon to make that recommendation. When you look through that document, what you'll find that there are only 3 articles that it cites that involve children receiving Recombavax, Engerix, or any other recombinant DNA technology vaccine, right? Because Recombavax HB was the very first recombinant DNA technology vaccine ever. Was a completely new platform for making a vaccine. It was revolutionary for its time. And the 3 articles that were cited, you could see they're all listed there below with the PMID numbers. They monitored safety for 7 days or less. They were underpowered. They were industry funded. Critically, this would not be sufficient to affirm the safety of these products before the routine recommendation. And I don't want to jump ahead too much, but if we can go back to the slides on the screen. There we go. Thank you. And I'm going to talk about post-licensure safety in a bit, but I would be remiss if I didn't just quickly hit on the fact that, I watched the last ACIP hearing, and in it there was a slide put up that said that the Institute of Medicine has concluded that the hepatitis B vaccine is safe. But in the most recent Institute of Medicine review of the hepatitis B vaccine, it looked at, which was commissioned by the CDC and HRSA, the Health Resources Service Administration. HRSA, which basically is defending against vaccine injury claims, presumably wanted the IOM to conduct this review and help it make causality conclusions. And it submitted to the Institute of Medicine what it claimed were the most commonly claimed injuries from various vaccines, including hepatitis B. And the IOM, effectively reached 3 categories of conclusions. One is that the evidence supported causation, the evidence rejects causation, or the evidence was inadequate to accept or reject causation. And while there were some that it rejected causation in that report, when it reviewed the conditions, and these are serious conditions, commonly reported serious conditions from the hepatitis B vaccine, when it reviewed the existing science studies with regards to whether or not, what does that data show on whether this vaccine causes it, parents are complaining about it, people are bringing claims about it, that should be a sufficient basis to study it. It found that for every single one of them except for one, the studies hadn't been done to reach any kind of causality conclusion. It includes conditions like encephalitis, brain swelling, encephalopathy, brain damage, seizures. acute disseminated encephalomyelitis, transverse myelitis, optic neuritis. The list goes on. They're very concerning conditions.